National Real Estate Post. I'm here today with Ryan Hills with the resource.tv. Once again, good to have you back, Ryan. How you doing, buddy?
Doing awesome, man. Always good to be here on the National Real Estate Post. I loved your guys' show with Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac. That was awesome points. I hadn't even thought about that yet. So once again, you guys delivered, and what a great show. Man.
Awesome, man.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Thanks for being here again. And before we get started, I do want to remind everybody, Thursday the 19th, Liberty Home Equity Solutions, they've rolled out a new proprietary reverse mortgage product. Okay, so that's kind of the big thing these days with reverse mortgage, not just sticking with the HECMs, not just sticking with the FHA deals, but companies rolling out proprietary products. They've rolled out theirs. They call it the $1 Million Reverse Mortgage. They want to teach you all about it. I'd tune in if I were you as an originator. You need as many tools in the toolbox as you can get, and this would be just another one for you. Click the banner you see right on the screen. It's over on your right to register, or if you scroll down, you'll see the banner there that you can register with. Or on Facebook here, there's a link around here somewhere where you can register. So with that, let's dive in with Mr. Hills up in Washington State. So Ryan, I saw you guys did a show, and it said something along the lines of another giant enters the real estate space. And you just got done speaking up at MBA. For those guys, and you had brought this up with them as well. Why don't you fill us in? Who's the new giant that wants to once again tap into the almighty real estate space?
It did kind of come out of left field, and I got to give it to the NBA. They had a good conversation. I was in Idaho this week, and they brought up the conversation of how does traditional realtors and lenders compete or maybe level the playing field against like Zillow and Amazon and others. And so I kind of started that conversation off in Idaho with like, hey, there's a third group we got to worry about now. And our show like that you brought up talked about it, and we can post it in the comment section below. But
sure,
there's a third now, which yay, another competitor to compete with. But Fox News just like has kind of like finished. Maybe they're not even finished, but it has this arsenal now of Realtor.com, OpCity, and Credible. And Credible, their claim to fame is they're your online loan marketplace. So they're kind of the finance consumer type thing. I'm guessing maybe mortgage in the future if I see what they're building. OpCity is a company that matches realtors with buyers. And then you got Fox News, which we call the tip of the spear. I mean, it really is a brilliant strategy when you think about it. If you think about how many people that media giant touches every day, they could easily get this message out to millions of people every day and start to control the narrative that this is the best thing for the industry or for the consumer. And so I got to give credit where it's due. We picked this story up from Julian, a blog called The Basis Point. If you guys haven't read it, brilliant guy. So check it out. It's called The Basis Point. He covered this at great detail. Our show kind of touched on that and then went a little bit different direction. But now we have another giant in Fox News, and there's other media giants following suit. And it really does make sense. I hate to say it, because I am an advocate for traditional realtors and traditional lenders. I still think, and I said this in front of the entire crowd, I still think that your neighborhood mortgage guy and realtor are the best person for the job versus like an iBuyer, which you guys have done such a great job covering the negatives and the positive and negatives of that. I still think that neighborhood realtor and lender is the right person for the job. But here it is again. You got another giant in Fox, and they're going to go out and try to control that narrative and saying, hey, use our folks at OpCity and our folks at Credible. It's the same thing that Zillow's trying to do,
It's interesting, man. I think a lot of people don't realize it's News Corp, right? That
Fox News Corp, yep.
It's Fox News Corp that owns Realtor.com and these other companies. And I think a lot of people don't even realize Realtor.com isn't owned by NAR,
Right.
So, but
Google it. It sounds crazy.
Right.
What we're saying, I know sounds crazy. Go Google it. You can read, and it'll tell you, whether you read Wikipedia or whatever, it'll tell you the whole history of all those companies I just mentioned. News Corp, Realtor.com, OpCity, Move Inc., who's part of News Corp. It's all together now, and the tip of the spear is this media giant in Fox.
So that's interesting. So now, they can use their news outlet, right, to start a narrative about their products and their company. So in the blog post that you had gleaned the story from, did he have any more insights as to like, is this their intention at this point? I mean, are they doing ads now? You know what I'm saying? I mean, when you say Fox News is in the mix, what do we really mean by that? I mean, are they, is it going to be Fox News Real Estate, or what does that mean?
Julian didn't. There's quite a bit more into it, and we can put the actual link to the original story on there as well. And I don't remember him speculating. I think you can kind of see what's going to happen. I can't imagine Fox Real Estate. I see that as the tip of the spear or the vehicle to reach the consumer. We had a follow-up show talking about how it's so funny that companies that reach the consumer first, like win now, versus over, that's more important for some reason than reputation, value add, knowledge, like all the other reasons people typically work with a company. Zillow and Amazon type companies have figured out, if I can touch the consumer first, I have a really good chance at getting their business, whether I'm selling shoes or real estate or cars or mortgages. And so Fox is another example of that. They know they can get to the consumer first. And so I would assume that they would start trying to funnel business to like OpCity, Incredible, and Realtor.com. I don't know that they're Fox Real Estate, but that makes sense.
So okay, I see what you're saying. So it's just still, but have you seen anything though? I haven't. Not that I know of. Have you seen any of that going on in the media, like on Fox News or anything yet?
No, the beauty of the story is, we're still pretty early to it. Like you said, when you started the show, most people don't even know that this is happening or this is a thing, or like you said, even knew who owned Realtor.com. So it's still fairly new. It's like Zillow. We've both said it on our shows for years. Like, we can see what they're doing. The ironic part is they're doing it off the backs of lenders and realtors as we pay for leads, and we can go down that rabbit hole. But we know what they're doing, and now they have, sure as as we called it, there's Zillow Mortgage, and we'll see what that ends up being. It's like they're building their armies now, and it's not. We don't know what it'll look like, and ultimately in the end, but you can see that they're building their armies.
That's interesting, and I guess we'll have to wait and see how they utilize the news network to push people or hit people first and introduce them to their specific products or their specific companies that they own.
The appropriate response for us is, what do we do about it, right? Like,
that's
one thing to talk about it, another thing to be aware of it. But what do we do about it? And that's why I appreciated the NBA having that super relevant conversation of, okay, what do we do about that? Can we level the playing field? I'm not so sure. Amazon spent $13 billion last year alone.
Yeah, let me write a check.
I don't know that we can compete with that. Zillow has 157 million unique monthly visitors. I don't know that we can.
Kind of hard to beat that.
That doesn't mean that we, fold up shop and head home. There are certain things that we can do to combat that. We may not be able to spend 13 billion. One small thing, I know that we got 1 million realtors and 100,000 independent mortgage bankers. If they went to social and started educating as to why iBuyer isn't right for everybody, and Zillow and Redfin and Amazon, if we start putting out our own collateral like you and I do, video, we might actually be able to compete together as a gigantic group of over 1 million professionals to get the correct narrative out that, hey, I get it, it's shiny, it's new, it's technology, but if you go with iBuyer, for instance, you may get 80 cents on the dollar, and they're still going to charge you 7.5%. So that's what we can do, is arm ourselves with we have social and we have video. Let's put it together and start getting our narrative out to combat that.
Yeah, that's what we always, that's, us. It's what we've been preaching for a long time. Exactly. It's the only thing that we can do. And, but you have to know the facts, and you have to be able to, speak them intelligently, and hopefully, our viewers and your viewers and, those of us who are out in the field doing this thing, we can do that. It's interesting. I had a guy shoot me an email today. I'm a realtor now, right, Ryan?
Yep.
I wear the R and everything. Well, NAR he said, I looked through the magazine. I was hoping to see something about the lawsuit, the big lawsuit that's going on, which me and Brian feel like there's the iBuyer type. There's something behind that. You know what I mean? That goes beyond some guy standing up and go, it's not fair.
Exactly.
That, there's more, because the real winner in that lawsuit, when it goes down, is going to be those type of platforms. But anyway, so the magazine, the guy goes, I went through it, and he goes, deep in the magazine, there's a little blurb where NAR says, regarding the lawsuit, we're still telling all the courts that it's baseless, right? It's baseless. But the big opening article is, hey, NAR's spending $45 million on their Chicago office. We're going to have new penthouses and meditation rooms and all this great stuff, and I'm like, really? Meditation rooms in Chicago? That's my dues going to work for me, baby.
Oh,
you know, I was like, oh man, you know, so I'm sure once I turn Brian onto that, he'll have a heyday with it. But,
can we earmark some of that 45 million just to go to social campaigns to get the word out that traditional realtors are still great to work with?
How come you and I can think about that in like 13 nanoseconds? You know what I mean? And the giant brain power at the mighty NAR, you know, decides, well, let's take this money and fix up the Chicago office.
Oh man, that hurts.
It just blows my mind. So anyway, man, so Fox.
I'll give you 2 questions that I gave the MBA that I think are pertinent. And answering this question of how we level and how we compete against all these 3 giants is bigger than controlling narrative and what I'm about to ask. Do you, loan officer or realtor, add tangible and obvious value to the real estate transaction? Now that came from a really good masterclass interview we did with a mutual friend of ours, Dave Savage. And he wrote down, and actually he said, and I wrote it down, your advice and education experience needs to be so valuable that people would write you a check for it.
I saw that quote.
Yeah, I love that. And so that spawned that question of, do you, loan officer or realtor, add tangible and obvious value to the real estate transaction? You got to get a loan with yourself and answer that question as honest as you can. If the answer is no, again, you don't fold up shop. You got to do something about it.
You figure it out. Right.
Now, I'm going to ask the lending organizations and the brokerage offices the same question. Do you, lending organization or brokerage office, add tangible and obvious value to your loan officers and to your realtors? That's fair to say, right?
It is.
And if they don't, it's a little bit tougher. It may be already too late. I mean, you got the EXPs of the world coming out. You got, Quicken. Like that momentum is going that way. And the people that hire all these loan officers and realtors, they have to be able to add tangible and obvious value, in my opinion, to their associates. It's not
I would agree with you.
It's not just a loan officer and realtor problem. It's an organizational problem as well.
It is. Yeah. And I'll talk to you about something offline here that kind of parlays right into that. We just don't have time. I'm not trying to hide anything from anybody. We're done. We've already gone long enough, but great stuff, man. Appreciate you giving us a heads up on Fox. We'll see what they do and how they start taking advantage of their news outlet and their network, to participate in this arena. And like you said, we're kind of this is kind of just being talked about now, so nobody's really seen anything yet. But you guys keep your eyes open for that. And I really appreciate the Dave Savage comment there at the end. I think that was very, very good.
Good to see you, man. Thanks for having me.
Hey, man, it's always a pleasure. You guys do us a favor. If you got anything out of this, or, go ahead and hit the Facebook share button right down here. It's right here in the corner. And if you hated today's show, do us a favor and forward it to somebody that you don't like. And we would appreciate that as well. And with that, Ryan, always a pleasure. We'll catch you later. We'll catch you guys later here at the National Real Estate Post.
See you guys later.